You know when they reply to your messages and you're like, yep, she loves it. Turns out she doesn't. You're like, well, that's another one that's a lesbian. You are surrounded by trees with rich grubs. They're everywhere. Here's my knob. Let's get going. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Francis Foster Sorts Your Life Out, the show where I indeed sort your life out. Now, be aware I'm not a physiotherapist, psychotherapist, any type of therapist, really, which means that you know that I know what I'm talking about. Now, before we start all of that, before I answer your problems, I'm recording this on January 20th. It is a big day. It is obviously the Donald's inauguration. It's going to be a fascinating time. It is going to be an absolutely fascinating time because that party has got some of the most interesting characters on Twitter in it. And that's the thing, Elon. It's Twitter. I refuse to call it X. I don't care how much you bought it for. It's Twitter. Always has been, always will be. Get on it. Now, if you think about it, you've got Trump, you've got Musky. That's my name for him. That's what I would call him if we paid five aside. He'd be up front. I'd call him Musky. You've got RFK Jr. You've got Tulsi. You've just got all these people. It's just insane. I went to the Trump rally in November in Madison Square Garden. It had Hulk Hogan doing a speech. Can you imagine that at the Conservative Party conference? Big Daddy Haystacks coming out and talking about why he loves the Conservative Party. He wouldn't do that. You know why? Number one, he's dead. Number two, no one likes the Conservative Party. Not even Conservatives like the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party in the UK, it's just something you look at and you just go, well, there used to be something. It's just like this country, really. You know, because this country, I think, is like the football team Manchester United. Now, many of you will not know who Manchester United are, but let me explain. They were a football team who were brilliant in the 90s, great in the early noughties and mid-noughties, started to collapse, and now we're rapidly approaching relegation. That's what we are. That's what this country is. That's what we've become. It's absolutely depressing. So when I went to this inauguration, I just saw all the pomp, the ceremony, people going mad. There was cheering. You know, it was like a wrestling show. They filled an arena. The Conservative Party wouldn't even be able to fill a village hall. What celebrities would want to be aligned with the Conservative Party? Not because they disagree with their policies, but because they're deeply, deeply crap. Who would want to do that? What celebrity would you get to come out? The only one you would get to come out is one that's gone bankrupt because he's had a coke addiction and you give him a few quid and that's the only thing he can do to keep a house over his head. That's it. That's where we are now. And the Americans, mate, when I went to that, it was actually insane. It was insane. The energy in the place, it was raucous. I'll be honest with you, it felt slightly inappropriate. I'm watching it going, I don't think, this is more wrestling. This is wrestling what I'm seeing here. And then Hulk Hogan came on, ripped his shirt. I mean, bless him, and he's in his mid-70s now, so he struggled to rip the shirt off. It took one or two attempts. I mean, he got there, but there was a slight tragic element. Then he did a speech, and man, I just say with the speech, crushed it harder than any other single person speaking. And to this day, I still don't know what he said. I have no idea what he said. And I was just watching and following what's going on with Trump. He obviously says that he's going to start deporting loads of people. We're going to build a wall, all of that stuff. It's going to be fascinating. It's just going to be fascinating to see what actually happens. Because the Democrats have lost the argument so comprehensively. Nobody even knows where Kamala is. We could be playing Where's Wally with Kamala. Nobody would know. She's completely gone to ground. It's like she's been offered an invitation to appear on Rogan. She's gone to ground. No one knows where she is. She's disappeared. Biden's loving it. Of course he is. Because he gets to stick one in Kamala like she tried to do to him. So he's having a whale of the time. Pardon Fauci. Why wouldn't you pardon him? A preemptive pardon. Why do you need to pardon someone preemptively? Why are you doing that? That makes you think, doesn't it? Well, if you wouldn't pardon someone preemptively unless they've done something wrong, would you? Would you? Would you? It's not you walking into a room going, no, it's not. Didn't touch those kids. What are you talking about, Dave? No, I didn't touch them. No one's accusing you of touching them. Oh, and by the way, as well, I've also got diplomatic immunity because I didn't touch those kids. What? Why would you need that if you did? No, I'm fine. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. It's bizarre. And we are going to be in for a roller coaster of a 4-year term. It's going to be an absolute roller coaster. I can't wait to see what happens. Things are going to be wild. I mean, he closed the actual rally with doing a dance with the village people whilst he's got his long blue coat on. I mean, he did a dance with the village people. That is literally the gayest thing that you can do. The Republicans are now gayer than the village people. That's where we are. You can't get gayer than that. And they were there doing a dance, and he was there behind doing a little dance. I have no idea what's happening. The Republicans used to be the party of like God-fearing people. I mean, they probably still are, hate gays. Now they're doing a little dance with them. I mean, it's better than the Dems. All the Dems do is just try and transition them. It's going to be fascinating. I have no idea what is going to happen at this point. I have no idea. But it's come to the point now where politics, it's just way more interesting than any soap opera. You couldn't write storylines like this. You couldn't write the 2 assassination attempts on Trump. The fact that they've tried to put him on jail for numerous things, shagging a porn star, which, let's be fair, in my book, makes him a legend. You just go, that's what's happening now. And then he goes at a rally at an arena, which he fills time after time after time, and then does a dance to the YMCA at the end. I don't know what to tell you. And people are going wild for it. Can you imagine Keir Starmer doing that? Can you imagine Keir Starmer having sex with a porn star? That'd be terrible. He'd be like, no, oh God, no, don't do that. That's hateful. Oh, we're going to put you in prison. Oh God, yes, keep going. Oh, that's not... It's pathetic. We need politicians that dance to camp classics. That's what we need them to do. Maybe that's the only way the conservatives can come back into this. Maybe if we got, I don't know, Kemi Badenoch to go out and dance to It's Raining Men, maybe she'd stand a chance. Can you imagine that? Robert Jenrick would be there dancing to It's Raining Men, maybe swirling his you don't even know, the people in America don't even know who Robert Jenrick is. That's how deeply you don't even know who Kemi Badenoch is. You don't even know who Keir Starmer is. That's because we're so pathetic and our politicians so useless. You have no idea who these people are. I could be saying, well, it's Daniel Briggs. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's our politician. And you'd be like, all right, well, what are his policies? And I'd be like, I don't know. Just like I don't know really, well, I do know what Keir Starmer's policies are, and they're terrible. So it's going to be an interesting time, guys. 2025 has started with a bang, and it's going to be fascinating to see what happens. It's going to be fascinating. It really is. Because something wild is going to happen. Those coalition of people, Trump, RFK, Musky, Tulsi Gabbard, and who's the other one? I mean, and the other ones. I mean, you're not going to be able to keep all of them together in one coalition. Just ain't going to happen. There's too many egos, too many Twitter followers. It's going to be interesting. I wonder who'll be the first one to go. Yeah, I can't. It's too many egos. It is too many egos. RFK Jr. has already had to compromise a little bit. You saw him there eating a McDonald's on Air Force One. or Trump's private plane. That was like some kind of weird initiation ceremony. Go on, eat it, eat the cheeseburger. And you saw RFK going like a cat coughing up a furball in the corner. But he did it. He swallowed it like a man. Because only men swallow. Jack will tell you about that, won't you, Jack? He says no comment, but we know what he's really like. That's why we have him here. That's why we have him here, so he can dance the YMCA afterwards. I think that should be the interview process for this place. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be so interesting watching it and seeing who's going to get on with people, who's not going to get on with people. Musk isn't going to make it, I don't reckon, till the end. He's just going to go weird and autistic at one point. He's just going to corner Trump he's going to corner Trump at a party and just talk to him about his favourite train set. And Trump's going to tell him to fuck off. And Musk's going to be like, no, the fucking can't. But it's going to be fun. We've already seen how it already kicked off. It already kicked off with HBN1s or whatever they're called. I forget the name of them. And the immigration and talking about... You can't hold that broad coalition of people together. It's going to be fun, though. I can't wait to see what it's going to bring. It's going to be some proper meltdowns. I reckon it's going to go on Twitter, some real spats. There's going to be some real spats on Twitter. There's going to be some finger pointing, talking. People say MAGA. I don't think a lot of people know what MAGA means. I think people think they do, but I think everyone's got their own idea of what MAGA is. It's going to be great, though. Twitter's going to be off the charts. It's going to be off the charts. There's going to be some wild stuff happening. Can't wait. 2025. Oh, mother of pearl. And with that, we're going to go on to your first question. And here's the first one. Dear Francis, I've grown to despise my country. Every headline fills me with dread, and I no longer recognise the culture I once loved. Should I emigrate in search of peace or stay and fight for a vision that feels like a fantasy now? Oh, my word. Wow. What a question. And, you know, this is a question that bugs me. Because I'm kind of in this place where I love England. Fucking love it, mate. I love this country. But you look at the way it's gone, you look at the values that people now have, and you think to yourself, do I really have this country's values? Do I really share them? Like, when you, with me, bit of gas, getting to that age now. So with me, when I was when I was doing stand-up on the regular, and I was on the stand-up circuit, I always found it amazing that comedians in the UK, not America because they're more intelligent, but comedians in the UK are like, I don't understand what's the problem that freedom of speech. And now we've got the Scottish hate speech bill brought in, which criminalises public performance, which means that you can get arrested and you can get put in prison for, I think it's up to 5 years for things that you say on stage. Context isn't important, apparently. That's what a judge said. And it was for something a reasonable person would find offensive. So we've got all of that. And comedians are going, yeah, I don't see what the problem is. I don't get it. I don't understand. What's the problem? What's the matter? Why are you so, why are you getting upset? Why are you so right-wing? Why are you such a Nazi? Why are you just such an evil, hateful, spiteful, big... And you're going, do you understand? And they're like, no. And you're just going, okay, all right. Okay, you're quite clearly a moron with subpar intelligence, double-digit moron. But the problem is, when you're surrounded by people who all have that opinion, or even people like, yeah, but why is free speech important? And you go, well, then why am I here? If I think this is important, you don't. I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, you're wrong and you're ignorant and you're stupid and whatever you may be. You're entitled to be. I mean, not if I was in charge, I'd have you executed. But unfortunately, I'm not in charge. So Why am I here? Why am I fighting a battle that people don't think is either A, happening, or B, worth winning? And to be honest with you, I don't know which one of those is worse. What's worse? If you're fighting a battle that people aren't aware of, but that people don't think is worth winning, then what do you do with that? Where do you go from? Where do you go with that? If you're trying to tell people why certain things in our country are important and they don't believe they are, then is there a point fighting for it? And what are you doing? Are you going to persuade them? Or are you just hoping that they come to their senses out of their own volition? Is that what you're hoping? And by you, I mean me, because that's what I've been trying to do. And I've been trying to beat the drum. And, you know, we've got things like blasphemy laws being openly talked about as if that's a good thing. You know, that you can take the piss out of religions. And we know the religion we're talking about, aren't we? And you're going to get put in jail. And people on the left and Keir Starmer are like, oh, yes, I think this is a great idea. I think this is fantastic. What could possibly go wrong by putting blasphemy laws into this country? And what we should do next, let's have a theocracy. I think theocracies are fantastic. Let's put a theocracy into Parliament and let's see how it turns out. You know, I'll tell you one thing though, right? If we did become a religious theocracy, let's say an Islamic theocracy, you know what? London would be a lot safer. You know these fucking dickheads going around nicking people's phones? Under Sharia law, the chop. And I'm getting to the point where actually I go, you know what? I think those boys have a point. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe that's what they should have. Like just stumps, not being able to ride their little shitty bikes, their crappy black jackets. Like, imagine this stumps and he just goes straight into a bus stop. Nah. I think that's what should happen, actually. Maybe I'm in favour of theocracy then. You know, so I don't know. The question is, you've stumped me with this one. You stumped me for this one. So whoever this is, it's a great one. And I say to you, you've got to make a decision when you feel that you can't fight anymore or the fight is no longer worth having. And I don't know when that point is, and it's going to be different for every individual. But I understand. I understand what you're going through. And I think it's about appeasing your conscience to the point where you felt like you've done literally all you can and there's nothing else you can do. That's a moment you need to wave goodbye and say thank you so long for the memories. Because otherwise, you're just going to get more angry, more bitter and more frustrated. And life's too short and there's no point in it. Unless you think you can win. Now, I don't know who this person is. This person might be talking about Britain or America. Or they might be a jihadist going, fucking let's do it. In which case, welcome. I'm desperate for the audience. So, I don't know. It's a brilliant question, and it's one for our time, really. And I know a lot of people feel the same way as you, particularly in my country of the UK. You just have to make the choice. You just have to make the choice. When is a moment that's right for you? When is a moment that's right for your family? When can you no longer bear it anymore? And also, you've got to factor in your obligations here, whether you've got parents, whether you've got kids, whether you've got all of these things that you need to look after. But it's a great question. It really is. And it cuts to the core of what I think about a lot. It's not the same anymore, Dave. Fucking changed it. Look at them. There's loads of them out there. Don't agree with it. It's not natural. I don't know, mate. No idea. You've got to make... It's the point... It comes when... The negatives outweigh the positives, and you don't see any hope of it being turned around. I think that's the moment. I think that's the key. When you can't see any hope, when you can't see it being turned around, that's when you know what? I love you, but this ain't working for me anymore? Great question. It's one that I battle literally every single day. Literally every single day. As I see what has become as this country, as it's gone down the absolute shitter. Dear Francis, my town just voted to allow hunting on Sundays, and now my dog walkers group is constantly clashing with hunters. It's escalating into chaos. How do I stay neutral? What do you mean? Oh, right, they're clashing with them. I mean, what? You don't clash with a hunter. Don't start having a go with a man with a gun. I imagine this might be, let's say it's in America. Are you going to get involved against a man with, no, what, because you've got a dog? Because you've got a little fucking poodle? You're going to go up? No. I mean, poodles are vicious little pricks. They fucking do anyway. I'm one of them. I don't know. No, you don't. You don't. You can't. You don't fuck about with people with guns. I mean, that's a very basic rule in life. You can't. Well, see, this is a problem, right? You've got the right, who have got all the guns and are going hunting, and then you've got the people on the left, like the dog walkers. And the people on the left don't live in the real world. And they're like, yeah, we can go up against the hunters and we can win. They've got guns, you moron. You've got a beagle. It's not the same thing. What's a beagle going to do? The moment it hears a pop of a gun, it's going to go and then run off into the bushes and literally shit itself. You got to have a word with them. Either that, or you got to go, you know what, boys? Like, I can't take part in this anymore. I can't be part of this. I can't be part of a dog walkers group that is going to start antagonising people with guns. That's mental. That's absolutely insane. You may disagree with the fact that people can come and hunt. I don't know the particular intricacies of the law, whatever else, or the fact that why the town voted to allow it. Maybe it brings in a lot of dough. Maybe there's a problem with certain animals and you're only going to be able to hunt them in a particular season, like deer, in order to keep the deer population down. I don't know any of these things, mate. How do you stay neutral? You don't get involved, mate. Don't go on your dog walking group. Don't do it. Don't go on your dog walking group, mate. It's not good. It's not good. They're going to... Because one of those blokes who goes hunting with an animal, he's going to be there going, oh my God, I wish it was a fucking human. I wish it was a human. And then you're going to go into view, right, with your cockapoo, and you're going to get your fucking nuts blown off. It's a bad look, mate. It's a bad look. Don't. What you need to do is you need to go to your mates and you say to them, look, right, you're walking your dogs. This is great. You know, and you got ahead of yourselves. You got ahead of yourselves and now you think you're masculine because you got a dog. So, if you disagree with this, which is your right and you're entitled to do it, then petition. Don't go and start a row because it's when it gets ugly. It's when it gets ugly. And if I were you, I'd go and walk a dog on your own. You don't want that. Or maybe go and walk the dog every day with your dog walkers group, just not at the same time as people are going out shooting. You don't want to get involved. Good luck. Dear Francis, I've fallen into a routine where every day feels the same and I'm losing any sense of purpose. I used to have dreams, but now I can't even remember what they were. How do I find meaning when life feels so stagnant? Is that you, Jack? Is this what you've written?
I had to stick one in eventually.
Yeah, you did. You did. That's Jack said I had to stick one in eventually, which is what he says to the ladies, by the way. He's a romantic like that. Fucking stuck one in eventually, didn't I? Love it. Where every day feels the same and I'm losing any sense of purpose. I used to have dreams, but now I can't even remember what they were. How do I find meaning when... Oh, mate, I feel so sad. How do you find meaning when life feels so stagnant? Well, look, here's the thing. All life really is a series of moments. That's all it is. You'll know this if you do psychedelics, then you meditate. You go, all right, all there is the moment. and connection and talking, and that's it. All we're doing is connecting. That's it. We're either connecting, we're disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting, whatever else. So you've fallen into routine. So what that means is you probably have a job you dislike. That means you're in a situation that you find mundane and boring. There's no spark, there's no pizzazz, there's no, the good stuff. Not cocaine. So you need to get out of that. You need to get out of that. But you might well have responsibilities. You might have to keep your job because it puts a roof over your head. It puts all of these things. The further you are in life, the older you are, the more tricky it becomes. But that doesn't mean that you can't do something. And it means that there's things that you can do. For instance, start a hobby, mate. Start a hobby. Go out and do something. What do you want to do? What do you like doing? What do you enjoy? Where do you want to be? What do you like? What is it? What is it that you liked as a kid that you still like, but that you've forgotten that you like? I always forget that I love football. And then I watch a good football match. Oh, I love football. And I support West Ham. I go, I'll go and watch West Ham. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. Terrible, useless shit. They just depress me. But you've got to find things that you love, that you enjoy, that you are passionate about. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You got to find it. It's in there. I believe you. It's in there. It's locked in. You just need to find it. You need to dig down and get it and scoop it up like an eye getting grubs out of a tree. They've got a long thing and they do this. And then they go like that on the rotten bit of the tree. And they come out and they get bugs and they eat it. That's what you got to do. You got to be like the proverbial eye. And then find the rotten bit, scoop it out, don't eat it. That's where the metaphor stops working. Or the simile, because it's a direct comparison. And you've got to go out and you've got to find the rich grubs in the tree. And life is surrounded. You are surrounded by trees with rich grubs. They're everywhere. All you need to do is just go out. But saying you've lost any sense of purpose, what you're doing is you can't find purpose until you go out and seek purpose. Purpose ain't going to come to you, my friend. Purpose, if you're in bed having a little bit of a cheeky rub and tug, right, on a Wednesday morning, and you're scratching your arse and you're not doing anything, or maybe you're at your desk and you're doing you're an accountant and you're doing accounts and you're thinking, fuck me, I just want to end it all. This is utterly appalling. How can I keep going? I'm just gonna. What can I do? Where can I be? Who am I? Shall I kill myself? Maybe I'll kill myself and my boss. I can do that. I mean, he deserves it. He's a fucking prick. Yeah, he's snided his way to the top. We all know he's. Maybe I should just fucking end it. You don't want to do that because the police will get involved and it'll get complicated. But what you need to do more than anything, you need to find purpose. And you find purpose by going out and challenging yourself in things that you find difficult. Now, I'm learning how to drive. It's been about, I don't want to say, many years because I'm useless at it. But I said to myself, I'm going to pass, even if it kills me. And I hate driving. Every aspect of driving that I do, I detest it. It's awful. It's vile. It's like you've got to be in a state of permanent hyper vigilance and anxiety. You're like, all the time people cut in front. You're like, fucking kill you. And then someone else does that, and then you've got to stop, and then you're driving down the road, and then there's two posts in the fucking road. You're like, why is this? And then you've got to maneuver your crappy little car in between both posts, and then it goes right, it's a 40, and then you speed up, and you're like, no. And that's just you driving around fucking Barnet. I mean, you don't know where Barnet is. It's terrible. It is. There is no joy to be derived. The only joy to be derived from driving is if you're a petty little masochist who he loves you. If you enjoy driving, I reckon you're one of those people who goes out to bars not bars, like underground dungeons, and gets strung up by their nipples and then gets pissed on and loves it. I reckon that's who you are if you like driving, because there is no way that is pleasurable. There is no way that that is enjoyable. Do you enjoy driving, Jack?
Not after I did it for a job, no. He's taking the fun out of it.
You see, he says not after he did it for a job, he's taking the fun out of it. It was never fun in the first place. It's never fun. You're driving down the road at 60 miles an hour going, you know what, I could kill myself now. You just that thought fucking pops in your head. Does that pop in your head? No, he doesn't. Well, you just go, yeah, I could kill myself now. That would be great. Into the ditch we go. All like you're flying over a flyover. You're like, oh, look, there's the bottom. I couldn't do it. Like, just, no. It's awful. It's appalling. I've got to do it. I've just got to do it. I've got to do it. I can't, and I'm learning how to drive automatic. Stop laughing, Jack. Stop laughing. It's not funny. I'm a 42-year-old man, 43 in a few months, learning to drive automatic. You know what I feel like? I feel like a kid with special needs. And all the other kids have moved on, and I'm like, 12 times 5, 125. That's what I feel like. But at least it gives me, like, it's good because it makes me make decisions. Every day, every time you're doing decisions. Teaches you to be assertive. See the gap, go for it. Go tell him to fuck off. Makes you feel like a real man. It's just like, I overtook you. There we go. There's a bit of testosterone right there. I haven't felt that since 2020. In your Nissan Micra. So, you've got to go out. You've got to search for meaning. You've got to grasp it. You've got to... And it ain't going to just appear. You've got to go out. You've got to find a hobby. You've got to shake it up a bit. You've got to live life. You've got to try new things. You've got to be prepared to fail. You've got to make yourself feel uncomfortable. Put yourselves in situations where you are uncomfortable. Because if you don't, then what will happen is you will just stagnate. And the world will change and move on, and you will become irrelevant. And you don't want that. Every day you got to get better, get better, get better, get better. It's a lot of fucking work. I wish I didn't have to do it, to be honest, but you just got to. That's what it means to be alive. Every day, get better, improve. All right. Dear Francis, my boyfriend's family is wealthy and he's incredibly generous, but I'm starting to feel like a kept pet. I want to pay my way and prove my independence, but I also enjoy the comfort his life affords. Am I being ungrateful? No. What you're doing is you want to stand on your own 2 feet and you want to feel like you are contributing, that you are an equal. Because the moment when someone pays for things for you all the time, you're not an equal. You are, like you said there, you are a kept pet. And you don't want to be a kept pet. You want to be strong. You want to be independent. You want to feel like you contributed. You want to go in and go, yeah, I did that. Well, we're going to face a lawsuit later, but I still fucking did it. That's what you want. You want to be an adult, responsible. If you're just existing on handouts and what people give you, you've got no pride. You're not developing. You're not learning. You're not being ungrateful. You can say to him, look, Rupert, fucking posh boy, Lawrence, whatever your name is, thank you for shelling out. But today, I am paying for the ravioli and pizza express. Because it's me. And I have worth. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. Otherwise, you will grow to hate yourself. And you don't want to do that. And other people will grow to have you in contempt because they know if they're shelling out all the time, they're not going to respect you. No one respects someone who's on the take. They don't. It's not how you live life. You want to prove your worth. You want to go in and go, this, me. I bring this to the table. That's what it's all about. This is the value that I bring. But you can't do that if you just sat on your ass getting stuff for free. See, getting stuff for free is a lot like eating junk food. It feels great at the time, but afterwards you're like, yeah, I'd much rather fucking earn a bit of that. You know? It's like having cigarettes, right? If you didn't smoke, so, you know, like, there was a day when you bought a packet of fags, you went to the pub, right? You had your packet of fags. And there'd always be that friendly, like, mate, can I bum a fag? Don't make a joke. It's 2025. And he's like, can I bum a fag? Right? And you go, yeah, all right, mate, here you go. Have a fag, right? And he smokes a cigarette. And if he does that every week without fail, or every day, or whatever it is, you're like, you know what, mate? Yeah, you're starting to take the piss here. Why don't you go and buy your own fags? Why are you relying on me? Why am I the one providing the Marlboro lights for the party? It's not my job. I used to love a Marlboro light. Really did. Marlboro light, that was... When I got into smoking, that was the fag of champions. And Marlboro lights were great, and I'll tell you why Marlboro lights were great. Because you started smoking them, and it was also birds loved Marlboro lights, because it was a bit classy, and it was gold, and it had the word light in it. So they could go away, and you could give them a Marlboro light, and they'd have a cheeky fag with... Oh, it was brilliant. Those were the days. You don't do Silk Cut, because Silk Cut, that was the fag of dinner ladies. Dinner ladies smoke Silk Cut. You see, you don't ever want to be caught smoking a Silk Cut. Lambert and Butler, they were just, yeah. You didn't smoke Lambert and Butler unless you didn't have a job. That was it. If you had a Lambert and Butler fag, it was poor. It was you were broke. But a Marlboro light, and then obviously you become a man, you grow pubes, and that's when you get onto the Reds. That's the moment you get onto the Reds because you become a real man. So, which is a very roundabout way of saying you're completely in the right. You don't want to rely on people. You want to rely on yourself. And as a result of that, what you are starting to feel is that you're being kept. And you shouldn't be kept because you're not a pet. You're whatever you are. You're an adult. And you want to go out and you want to challenge the world. You want to enjoy life. And you want to take the cigarette and you want to smoke it like that. That's how it's got to be. And it's got to be your fag, not someone else's. It's got to belong to you. Good luck. Dear Francis, my best friend's wife keeps flirting with me. I don't think he'd believe me if I told him, and I'm scared of destroying their marriage. How do I handle this without becoming part of the problem? Oh, my God. Mate, I don't know. That's tough. Is she fit? No, stop. You can't say that. Can't think it. Nah, it's tough, that. It's tough. It's tough because, you know, it's hard. Is she pissed when she does it? Because that's even worse. When they start getting sloppy and then the hands start going all over the body and you're like, I don't know what to do about this. You know? Like, number one, right, it shows that you got something about you. Can I just say that? That, you know, she's flirting with you. Number two, what it shows is that she's obviously deeply unhappy in her marriage. Of course she is, because she's in a marriage, so that's why she's deeply unhappy. You know, he's probably not giving her the old smash pants, you know. So she's feeling deeply unsatisfied. And she's going around looking for affection in other places. You know what? I don't think you should tell him. I don't think you should tell him. Number one, you could be misreading the signals. There's been many a time where I thought a woman was ready and available. Turns out she was just being nice. She was, yeah. Yeah, and she was just being friendly. And and that's unforgivable on their part. It's just heartbreaking. You know when they reply to your messages and you're like, yep, she loves it. Turns out she doesn't. You're like, well, that's another one that's a lesbian. Then you find out she's not a lesbian. And then it just becomes heartbreaking. Yeah. So you've got to find out the signals. Listen, women's signals are very different to men's signals. Like you go to a gay club, a men's gay club, I mean, that's a man in his most honest. It's like, cock out, how'd you like it? And you go from there. Here's my knob, let's get going. With women, it's different. There's a subtlety there. There's a hint, there's a frisson. There's an undercurrent, a tone. Or they could just be being nice and friendly. And it's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. Women don't make things easy. They never make things easy. But you've got to think carefully on this one. What do you mean by flirting? Is she doing the whole, you're so nice or whatever else? Or is it like putting the hand on the old crotch area? It's what I do to Jack, our producer, when he's done a good job. He likes it. He's like, yes. It makes him feel wanted and needed. This is we call it the Christmas bonus, but anyway. How do you handle this without becoming part of the problem? Mate, I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't get involved. There's stuff going on in the marriage. You don't know if you're misreading the signals. Maybe she got a bit pissed and said a few things. I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of drink problem going on. She's getting on the old, sauce, getting absolutely smashed. And she's being a bit sloppy. I don't know. I do not know. Chances are he's noticed it, though. Don't humiliate him. All I would do is find ways to never be around his missus. Like if he says, well, why don't you come out with me and the missus? You're like, can't we just you and me, mate? And he's like, why? And it's just like, well, I just think we need boys' time, mate. Men's mental health. We need to support each other. Talk about it. All that shit. By the way, why do they always say to men, talk about it? And they say the worst person you can talk to about your mental health is another man. A man is a glorified retard. You might as well talk to your fucking dog about it. At least with your dog, it will look at you and go, and then you can give it a stroke and then you feel a bit better. Like, you talk to a man, it's just... Men are basically just women with high functioning autism. That's all we are. We don't have the depth of emotion. We don't have the range. I mean, look, you can go to a gay man and a gay man would be better than a straight man, of course. But, no, don't talk to a therapist, by all means. Go and see a therapist, absolutely. Get professional help. Yeah, somebody who's trained to be able to work with. Yes. But a man? You might as well talk to a fucking lizard, a gecko, and be there going, no, don't. They have got no emotions or understanding of anything. And he knows his missus is getting pissed and doing that. And if he doesn't, it's because he doesn't want to admit it to himself. Stay out of it. Minimise your interactions with her. Minimise the fact that you're never drinking around her. Hang out with your mate and just put it to a minimum. Because I guarantee you, mate, you're not special. You're not the only one that she does it to. Good luck. Dear Francis, my partner wants to invite their ex to our wedding because they're still good friends. I don't think I can handle it, but I also don't want to seem insecure. What should... Oh, mate. Why would you do that? Why would you invite your ex to your wedding? Because you're just good friends. Look, I'm not saying that you can't still have feelings for your ex-partner. But there's a reason why they're your ex-partner. You can't invite them to the wedding and go, yeah, this is a bird I used to absolutely Rambo. in the early days, at least twice a week. Once on the kitchen table. She fucking loved it. In particular, she loved it when I pulled the hair whilst... No! And then she's going to be there watching you go up the aisle and go, oh, yes, you know, I'm so in love with this person. And look, I'm not going to... It's even worse as if it's a woman. I'm sorry to say it, but it is. It's worse because then she's wearing a white dress, and the reason I want her in a white dress is so that I can pretend that she's never been with anyone else. I don't want to know she's been with anyone else. No man does. And then I've got her ex-boyfriend turning up, just sitting there grinning, knowing that he's absolutely smashed her back doors in. No, I'm not having it. I don't know. It's wrong. It's unnatural and wrong. I don't know. No, unless he's gay. Unless he's gay. In which case you then can hold it over and you go, maybe if you were a bit more giving in the bedroom, he wouldn't be out, with men, perhaps. But no, you don't. You don't ever invite exes to a wedding. No. Maybe they are good friends. I would never trust a man with anything when it comes to women. If I see a man who's good friends with... I'm like, no, mate, I know your game. I know your game, son. You dirty little pervert. All you are is you're playing the long game. You're investing in it for the long game. So months, years down the line, so you can be like, excellent, let's get stuck in. No. Oh, fuck. They're good friends. They're still good friends. What happens if you get hammered? You go, all right, yeah, you're still good friends. What does that mean? I'm on answers. I don't know. You're going to have to let whoever it is, you're going to have to let him bring the... It's going to be a problem, though. If it's promise of a woman, she turns up and she's looking fit, that's going to be an issue. If she's got the bazungas out and everyone's there going, well, she is quite clearly cracking. I mean, it's different if she's obviously, looks like she's actually been on the game for a few years and, she's been on the sauce and she's absolutely knackered and she's got a face like a bag of spanners, or, look like a cushion that cats have been pissing on. That's fine. But if she's coming in and she's looking absolutely... You don't want that. You don't want that. And the same if it's a bloke who comes in, he's all handsome and... You don't want that. I'd hate that. He just turns up and he's got that smug smile on his face. You're like, fuck you. I know where that smug smile comes from, you fucking prick. You're just there. Look at you, smug twat. And he's like, how is she? And you're like, are you looking after her? Well, why don't you mind your own business? Yeah, I'm looking after her. Look how much this wedding costs. How much? What else do you want from me? I don't know. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. It's too much. I mean, a person should only be tested so far. A person can only be tested so far before they break. That would break me. I wouldn't be able to do it. It wouldn't be for me. Not for me. Unless they were hot and then you can maybe... No. And it could be if they were a woman. And then you go, all right, let's get drunk. Maybe we can do something. No. If it was me, I would say no. You got to tell him. That's it. You got to tell him. There's no other option around it. You've just got to tell him. Otherwise, it's going to ruin your wedding. And then you're going to resent him. You've got to tell him. Sorry. Wish it could have been more helpful. Otherwise, you're just going to get drunk and deck him. I mean, that'd be memorable. Good luck. So, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening to Francis Foster Sorts Your Life Out. Please remember to rate, to like, subscribe, all the rest of it. Give us a review. I've got a show coming up with the great Leo Garris on the 4th and 11th of Feb. The links will be in the description. Come along. It's going to be magic. See you next week.